Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NewsBrowse News broadcast. First Nations leaders are demanding a federal inquiry into the RCMP and an apology from the police service, following a CBC report that revealed the RCMP spied on Indigenous political leaders starting in the 1960s. The Canadian press reports that CBC Indigenous uncovered approximately 6,000 pages of internal RCMP documents showing surveillance of future national chiefs, including Noel Starblanket, David Atanakew, George Erasmus, Phil Fontaine, and Opposition Merc Radi. The RCMP allegedly characterized their lawful advocacy as Native extremism. Grand Chief Kyra Wilson of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs called for the RCMP to apologize directly to communities on their territories by year-end, disclose all surveillance records, and assure that such programs are not ongoing under new names. RCMP Commissioner Mike Duehm has acknowledged the concerns and expressed sincere regret over past operations, stating the organization has evolved and is committed to reconciliation, but First Nations leaders are calling for concrete action. A new report from the Canadian press highlights a concerning trend in maternal deaths within the Vancouver Coastal Health Authority, VCH. The report indicates that drug-related overdoses are now the leading cause of death among residents in the VCH region within a year of giving birth. Analyzing 25 deaths between 2010 and 2024, the study found 11 fatal overdoses, with substance use contributing to 3 additional deaths. Medical Health Officer Dr. Althea Hayden noted that, while the overall numbers are small, the issue is alarming. The expected maternal death rate in Canada is between 6 and 12 per 100,000 live births. However, for the approximately 117 pregnant women with substance use issues seen by the health authority annually, the death rate skyrockets to 855 per 100,000 births, a figure comparable to countries like the Central African Republic. Dr. Hayden emphasized the need for improvements such as better data collection and sharing, enhanced care coordination, and the establishment of addiction care facilities where mothers can bring their infants for treatment. In a BC Supreme Court case reported by CTV News, a lawyer for the British Columbia government has cautioned against a sudden and abrupt ruling in a lawsuit seeking to expand access to medical assistance in dying Evan Adil in Catholic-run hospitals. The lawyer argued it would be a tragic irony if such a decision led to disruptions in patient care. The lawsuit was brought by the family of Samantha O'Neill, who reportedly endured an unbearably painful transfer from St. Paul's Hospital, operated by Providence Healthcare, in 2023 after seeking MAID for cervical cancer. The government maintains that it allows faith-based providers to opt out of services contrary to their religious beliefs, citing MAID as a red line for Providence Healthcare due to the Archbishop of Vancouver's stance. The province asserts its policies are carefully crafted and meet constitutional requirements, asking the judge to suspend any findings of constitutional invalidity to allow for further submissions on potential remedies if the claim is successful. Global News reports Canada is experiencing an entrepreneurial drought, with business closures consistently outnumbering new openings since early 2024. A new report from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, CFIB, released Wednesday, states that the gap between openings and closures reached a new high in the final quarter of 2025. In the second quarter of 2025, business exit rates hit 5.6%, while entry rates dropped to 4.9%, indicating some of the highest closure rates and weakest startup activity seen outside of the pandemic period. Economist Moshe Lander attributes this to a bad business environment, impacted by COVID-19, global shocks like U.S. tariffs, and disruptions in key trade routes. BMO economist Eric Johnson adds that over 70% of this disparity is concentrated in Ontario, particularly in the transportation, professional services and finance, insurance, and real estate sectors. Small and medium enterprises surveyed by CFIB cite high costs, tax pressures, complex regulations, red tape, and persistent labor challenges as major hurdles, feeling largely unsupported by provincial and federal governments. The report also highlights a growing concern about market concentration and private equity buyouts, which may be limiting opportunities for independent businesses. Radio Canada International reports that Sunwing Vacations Group, which encompasses Sunwing Vacations, WestJet Vacations, and Vacances WestJet Quebec, has announced the cancellation of all its operations to Cuba until October 9. This extended suspension, effective from June 20, is a direct consequence of the severe and ongoing fuel crisis gripping the Caribbean island. Initially, summer flights to popular destinations like Varadero and Cayo Coco were expected to proceed, but they are now also halted, with services to these locations slated to resume on October 10th. Other Cuban destinations, including Holguin, Santa Clara, Cayo Largo, and Cienfuegos, will see operations restart on October 25. The fuel shortages are attributed to U.S. sanctions against Venezuela, which have severely impacted Cuba's oil supply and, in turn, disrupted daily life for locals. Sunwing states that all affected customers will be contacted to arrange alternative vacation options. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.